Good morning again. Welcome to data analysis and visualization lecture. In today's lecture, we are looking the libraries which are widely used in Python. Python is a multi-platform general purpose programming language and that can be run on Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac OS and has been ported to Java. .NET Virtual Machine as well as. It has powerful standard library. As we saw in previous lecture, there are some libraries which design with the help of a Java programming language as well as C++ programming language for data analysis and visualization also. So similar type of libraries are there which are designed with Python and used for data analysis and the visualization of the data. In addition, it has many libraries for data analysis like PyLearn2, Hebel, PyBrain, MontePython and MILK. In this chapter, we will cover some of the common data libraries such as NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, PyMango and the scikit-learn. Now to help you get started, we will briefly discuss about the libraries. Those who are less familiar with scientific Python, they can get the information in this. So you see here the very popular library, we always use the NumPy. One of the fundamental package used for the scientific computing in Python is NumPy. Among other things, it is contain the powerful n-dimensional array object. NumPy is a provide n-dimensional object as well as it is very powerful for numerical calculations. Tools for integrating C, C++, Fortran code. We can integrate C, C++ code also. And random number capabilities also there. Beside this, it can also be used for efficient multidimensional container of generic data. Arbitrary data types can be defined and integrate with wide variety of database. Numerical operations we can perform on multidimensional data. We can store multidimensional data in the NumPy. So next library, again this is a popular library, Pandas. Panda is a Python package that support a rich data structure and functions for analyzing data. It is developed by PyData development team and its focus on improvement of the Python data library. Pandas consist of a set of labels array data structure, a primary which are series. In Python Pandas we use a series as well as data frame and index object, enabling both the simple access indexing and multi-level hierarchical access indexing. We can create the indexing in the Pandas library. As we saw in previous lecture, heads we can find, tails we can find by using indexing, as well as data frames we can create in that. An integrating group by engine for aggregating and data transforming data sets, the Pandas library is used. There is another type of a library, data arrange generation and custom data sets, input output tool that load and save data from flat file or pytable or SDF file format. This is very important to save the data on the hard disk and retrieve the data from the hard disk or the Google Drive. And there pandas library is useful to store the data and retrieve the data from the various storage. Though the data is stored on the cloud, we can take it. Optimal memory versions of the standard data structures. This pandas library provide very standard data structure to us, and moving window statistics and static and moving window linear panel regressions we can create in the Python pandas library. Due to these features, panda is ideal tool for system that need complex data structures or high performance time series functions, such as financial data analysis we can do with the help of a pandas library, as well as some statistical analysis we can perform with the help of a pandas library. So these both libraries are very useful for data analysis, NumPy and pandas library. Next thing is matplotlib. This is the package of Python and which is used for 2D graphics. It provides both very quick way to visualize data from Python and publications quality figures in many format. We can publish our data in a many format like contour plot we can create, scatter plot we can create, base map plot, line graph, line plot we can plot by using matplotlib library. However, we can easily create our chart with the default of most every property in matplotlib. This is visualization purpose library. Also there another library, that is PyMango library. MongoDB is a type of NoSQL database, and it is highly scalable, robust, and perfect to work with a JavaScript based on web application, because we can store data as a JSON document and use flexible scheme. This MongoDB is support to the web application database, and this is the library we can interface with the Python. PyMango is a Python distribution containing tools for working with MongoDB for document analysis, document storage, and document verifications. We use the MongoDB to store the data, and PyMango to analysis. Many tools have also been written for working with PyMango to add more features, such as MangoKit is there, as well as Humongous, as well as Mongo, Alchemy, and Mig. These are the tools which support in the PyMango for document analysis. So again there is a library which is used in a machine learning, that is scikit-learn, which is library used for machine learning models, such as classification. For classification we can use, for regression we can use, for clustering algorithm we can use, interpretation with the Python numerical and scientific library NumPy and SciPy. The latest scikit-learn version is 0.16.1, which is published in April 2015. This version of scikit-learn library for machine learning is published in 2015, April 2015. So if you have any difficulty regarding the little bit introduction about this library, you can ask me question. Otherwise we are going detail to see one by one. Hope you understood a little bit introduction about this library. These libraries are very useful for our data analysis purpose, as this scikit-learn library is used for classification, regression, clustering. PyMongo library used for document analysis, interface with the Mongo data, and the matplotlib library, which is used for visualization of the graph. Panda library is used to store the data and retrieve the data from various storage and various file format and make it analysis. And NumPy library, which is used for numerical data analysis, algebraic operations we can perform by using the NumPy library. So now we are going to study one by one all these libraries. First we will start the NumPy. First we are going to start NumPy. A NumPy array and vectorized computation we are going to discuss here now. Introduction about the NumPy. NumPy is a fundamental package supported for presenting and computing data with high performance in Python. It provides some interesting features as extension package to Python for multidimensional array, means END, various derived object such as mark array, matrix providing vectorization operations, and broadcasting capabilities. Vectorization can significantly increase the performance of array computation by taking advantage of single instructions, multiple data instruction set in modern CPU. To increase the competency in the array of data, we use the NumPy. As n-dimensional array, we can also extend it. Fast and convenient operations on array of data, including mathematical manipulations, basic statistic operations, storing, selecting, linear algebra, random number generation, discrete Fourier transform, and so on. This NumPy is used for storing, selecting, linear algebra, random number generation and all, as well as it fast and convenient operation on the array of data, including mathematical manipulation, basic statistical operation. An array can be used to contain value of data object in an experiment or simulating steps, pixels of an image, or a signal recorded by measurement of voice. We can store the information in the array like a image pixels, as well as we can store the signal which is recorded by voice. For example, the latitude of Eiffel Tower, Paris, is this 48.858598, and longitude is at 2.2 2.294495. It can be presented in a NumPy array object as P. Suppose we are taking one example, import NumPy as P. Just take an example. So we have created one folder on our drive, and in that our data visualization and analysis class file we have created, and there one file data analysis and visualization. We are going inside the data analysis and visualization. Okay, here we will create our practical. This file is already shared with you in our Google Class. You can take its advantage. So okay, import NumPy as NP. What we are doing here, we are finding the NumPy array application in the IPL tower. So import NumPy as NP. It is written here, just take here. Now execute. We have created NumPy libraries object. Here we are importing, and p equal to np.array, and the latitude and longitude of IPL towers value we are providing. Therefore p equal to np.array in bracket 48.858598, 48.858598. This is the latitude, comma 2.294495, comma 2.294495. Similar type of arrays we can create. Now you see we have imported, and just clicking on here, this will be executed. Now we can see the output of a P. What is P? Suppose we want to see it on the next line. We can see what is P. Then P is a array. So likewise we can create array by using the NumPy. There are two requirements of NumPy array, which are a fixed size and creation and uniform. Fixed data type with a fixed size in a memory. The following function help us to generate the information on the P matrix, like getting dimension of a P. How many dimensions are there in this P? We can find by clicking on the P dot dimension. P dot dimension. So only one dimension is there, right? Also we can find the shape of the array by using shape object. P getting size of each array dimension. So p dot save. Right, there are two elements are there inside this array. Also we can find the length, getting the dimension length of an array p. So getting length, we can write p dot length. You have to keep in mind these things: n dimension, shape, length, how we can find the length of array, how we can find the dimension of array likes wise. So getting length, len is a object. By using it we can find the length, right? So length is also two of these. Now data type, also we can find the data type. So d type of p we can find by using this function d type of p. Name d type d types. Data type's name is not d type. Okay, we can find p dot d type. D type the data type is float. Data type of p is float. We know there are two values and therefore there is floating point, so we can say we have executed correct data type by using the d type functions. Getting data type of array, it is so data types. There are 5 basic numerical type including the boolean, integer int, unsigned integer uint, floating point float, and complex. These 5 basic data type are very useful. We can find all these. They indicate how many bits are needed to represent the element of an array in memory. This data type shows how many memory size required to store to represent the data, such as intc and intp, that have different bit size depending on the platform. Now there are one table of data type. You can see NumPy supports this type of data types. Boolean intc means similar to C in int32 or int 64 bit. intp integer used for indexing, same as C size t. int8 unsigned int8 type code is il, ul, integer and unsigned integer. Unsigned and signed integer, 8 integer type. Again integer 16, unsigned integer 16 is there, integer 32 bit, unsigned integer 32 bit, integer 64 bit, unsigned integer 64 bit, floating 16, floating 32 bit, floating 64 bit, complex 64 bit, complex 256 bit, string, Unicode. These are the data types which can supported in the NumPy. We can easily convert or cast. Conversion of data type from one data type to another data type, it is called as casting, type casting. And array from one data type to another using the as type method. As type method is used to type casting. A equal to, suppose np.array, we have created one array, and a.d data type, if we find its data type is the integer data type. Now convert this data type into the float data type. So float b, we have created one variable and equal to a.as data type, np.float 64, np.float 64, we are creating this data type into the we are creating into the float. Now float b data type, we will get the data type is converted from integer to the float data type. So you see practically, first create one array a equal to np dot array, and in this we are writing, suppose 1 2 4 values, 1 2 3 4 values we have added here. Now see the data type of these. For finding data type of a, we have to write a d type, right? So we'll get the data type is 64-bit integer data type. Now convert this data type into the float. So write down a float a f, this variable a underscore f variable we have created, a dot is type, want to convert into float. Float 64. Okay, now you see, now find the data type of AF. What is the data type of AF? To finding the data type of AF, we have to write AF dot D type. AF dot D type, the data type is float. We have converted this data type number into the, this is the cast. So the as type function will create a new array with a copy of data from an old array, even though the new data type is similar to the old data type. So keep in mind this method, as type you have to keep in mind. Now array creation, how to create array. There are various functions provided to create array object. They are very useful for us to create and store data in multi-dimensional array in different situations. Creation of array is very useful for multidimensional array in different situation. Now the following table we will be summarize some of the NumPy common functions and their use by example for array creation. Array creation, there are empty function, empty like function, I function, identity, and once like function. These are the functions. Empty, create a new array of the given shape and type without initializing element. How to create it? np.empty 3 by 2 data type equal to float, np.float 64. So the array will be created, empty array will be created 3 by 2. Now we are going to see practically with this example. So creating array np.empty we are creating 3 by 2. Okay, 3 by 2 array and d type equal to float np dot float 64. Right, so this array is created. Empty array is created. Now find the create new variable, and that is we are creating 1 by 2 and 4 by 3 two-dimensional array. So creating it, a equal to np dot array, we are creating new array again which has the value 1 by 2 and also 4 by 3. Now execute it. What means field element inp dot array. Something we miss, right? np dot array, right? This bracket is remaining here. Okay, data analytics, to see what is inside A, we have to write A here, then it will be UG. Here we have created two-dimensional array. Now create empty like array. So we are again empty like np dot empty to A. We are creating like this A array, empty array. Now we have array whose dimension like 2 dimensions, like a 1 2 4 3. Similar type of array we are creating, but it will be empty. So here we are using one method, that is empty like. Oh, the value is not shown here. Empty np dot empty like of A. Yeah, now you see here the
Sir,
array
please
is
increase the font size.
okay. Is it okay now? I have increased full size, only 36. There is limit indentation and okay, I think it is now more clearer. We have one structure of array, this, and these structures we are creating with empty element. For creating it, we have to use their empty like method. Similarly, creating the identity you see here I method we can use. 2-dimensional array we will create here, and its data type will be integer. So identical element will be there, means 0. If we have one array 1 0, then similar its identity value will be there like this 1. This is the identity matrix. Again we can create like this. You see here 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 0 0. So this is also a diagonal matrix. Like this matrix we can create by using the I function, which is in a numpy. So try it. np dot I 3. Okay, its data type integer, d type equal to integer, d types equal to np dot int. Now see, we have created a diagonal matrix like identity matrix by using I. Their dimensions are 3. Is it visible? Yes, is it visible?
No, sir.
Now is it visible?
Yes, sir. Now is it busy?
Okay. So here we have added 3, so there three dimensional array we have created, and its data type is integer. We have taken integer value in the diagonal matrix. To create identity or diagonal matrix, we use like this. Also we can increase this and create 5. Then there in this direction 111 will be there, 100, then 1 is shifted next line likewise. So another array creation function, that is create a new array with a given shape and type filled with ones for all element. Like ones, you know it, we have already used this ones, right? And alike, ones alike x we can create. For this we are creating ones by 5. Ones this ones we have created. Then ones for data type integer. Now you see here is point. We can reduce this point by using by adding the data type ones 4 comma d type equal to np dot integer. Right, here is no point now. Now at next np dot alike. Now store this on the x variable. Okay, now np dot ones alike x. Like this x we are creating ones. Similarly, suppose we have this 4 by 5 suppose here. Okay, what is x? We are displaying here x. X is like this. Now similar alike ones array, we can use this method to create similar type of array of ones. Suppose this is now we are again using here another things so that it will understand to you better. Some elements we are adding here. For creating not ones, instead of ones we are writing array. We are creating array 4 comma 3. Okay, again another array we are going to create 1 2 3. Now execute this X. You see in X there are 4 3 5 1 2 3. Is it visible to you? We have created the array with value 4 3 5 1 2 3. Is it visible to you? Yes, Akshay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now similar type of ones array, instead of this 1 3 5 1 2 3, we want to replace it by ones value. Similar size or similar type we can add, suppose, or suppose this is okay. To now if we execute this code, np.ones like x, this variable we are passing here, means our this value will become ones. Here this structure will be changed. Now you see 3 by 2 array is displayed here. So ones like and empty like, these we can create. Suppose we have a very big data and now we want to create their structure as a empty. Multi-dimensional array structure we can create empty by using empty like, and multi-dimensional arrays elements structure we can create like ones. Similarly, zeros like is there, we can pass the zeros like, we create one array and pass the zeros in that. Also there is arrange, we can arrange 2 by 5 array into different dimensions. And there is also full and full like, which is create array with a given shape size. You try to execute this code at home. If you have any difficulty, you please ask to me.
mgm.hafsa.
Okay, if you have any difficulty, you can ask me to implementing this. So take a screenshot of this and execute all these functions. Today we are going to stop here. If you have any difficulty till this, you can ask me question. Do you have any question?
No, sir.
Okay, then you have to implement this in home. Okay, from here to here. On same, we want to like zeros like, full like, and for string. In next lecture we will revise it. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day. You may leave now.